Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it, so thank you in advance. Today's episode I'm very excited for because we're going to be taking a look at another one of my favorites in the Final Fantasy category. You know, this is the bromance game. This is Final Fantasy 15. We also like to call this one the boys edition, right? The boys are back in town because this whole game is, it's a story about, Noctis' journey from becoming, prince to king. And it's a really cool story. And one of the few games that uses like a time jump, spoiler, to show like growth and development of the characters. But the other thing that I really enjoyed was, in Final Fantasies, a lot of times you get a bunch of party members, which is cool. You get a lot of interesting personalities. But also, the game has, finite amount of content. So it becomes sometimes a lot of spread out. With 15, there's only 4 main characters. I know they had the Arden DLC and all of that and the Luna Frey DLC, but let's just say there are 4 main characters and you get to see their journeys. Now they even have the DLC for each of the other party members, but just seeing the base game, I remember going through this and being like, it was a really cool, like coming of age story. Stand by me, boys in the hood type of thing, but in this like semi new age futuristic, but not really the future kind of like environment. Cause this one is, less traditional swords and spells. This is kind of in the vein of like 7 and 8 where in 10, where there's this level of technology that we don't have in real life, but at the same time, things do kind of seem kind of older. So, but back to the meat of it, right? There's just so many moments of like really good dialogue. After 13, I felt like Final Fantasy was trying to always be too complicated, and that's one of the things I didn't like about 13 is they had all of these terms and things that we need to know to understand everything, but they weren't doing a good job presenting it. And 15, it's like, look, there's some things going on. There's 2 big, countries, factions, however you want to call it, and then problems ensue. And as you go through the story, obviously you find out a whole bunch of other things about what's really going on, and that's to be expected with any story-based game, right? There's always more than meets the eye type of thing. And with this game, just seeing how each of the characters had their own like moments or times where they needed to lean on the group, and it's to me a lot of development there. And the way the game presents itself with the exploration was really, 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 really cool to me. So one of the things you do is you ride around in your like royal car, which reminds me of like Rolls Royce, called the Regalia, right? And this is your way of kind of exploring the map. You can also just walk around the map as well, but this is your way of kind of getting around because the map is pretty good size. Not the biggest map or anything like that, but it's definitely really, really good size, especially the way they use it in this game. And as you drive around, you will get a lot of this, content and development between the characters. And like, games have done this. This isn't the first game to do it, but like a lot of times it's kind of cheesy. And I didn't think that, this game really did that. I mean, it's just a lot of little like presentation things they do whenever you save a game. Prompto is taking photos throughout the game, and I'm sure it's on some kind of weird timer and stuff, and some of the photos come out kind of odd, but a lot of times you get really, really cool photos of whether you're standing around, whether you're next to a landmark or something, things that sometimes didn't actually happen. It's just, I'm assuming if you walk past those spots, they kind of trigger them. And then Ignis, who is like the team's chef, like if you're exploring the game and you find like a new item and he says, I've done it, a new recipe, like that was always something that was like you would look forward to it, when you found stuff, when you're fishing and you get stuff, the campfire scenes, them talking about them playing King's Night, like some sort of weird card game that sounds kind of like Magic but not really. All those little things, all those little details as you go through this game is really good. And I know, gameplay wise for some people, it was kind of button mashy. I get it. The magic thing, I completely understand. This game does not have a high focus on your characters using magic. Like there are some magic based things that you can do, but they're not anywhere near the same. And I know for a lot of people, magic is kind of one of the things they like about the Final Fantasy world. So not having that reference to the what traditional is expected from Final Fantasy games in that regards. I get it. I really do. I wanted more magic stuff. The summons, while pretty cool, they don't have they have the same gravity, but they don't have the same gravity. You'd have to play it and let me know your thoughts on how you felt about that aspect of it. But either way, I really love this story. Every time I go back and play it, and just all of the visuals and stuff like that, you're getting dirty as you're fighting and stuff. For me, it's just I was happy to see this direction of the Final Fantasy franchise. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game, whether you love it or hate it. That doesn't bother me. I just want to see people's thoughts about this particular entry, because I really enjoyed this, and this kind of brought me back to feeling like I could trust the brand Final Fantasy. I wasn't a big fan of 13, so that one kind of soured me for a second, but this has definitely got me more than excited for whatever they do with 16. But I really enjoy this game, and I'm playing it again because of this. So you should too. But either way, I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you about the boys. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.